I'm going to make two more modular workbenches for my workshop, like the ones I made about 5 years ago. This time I was thinking about improving the performance of the leveling retractable casters that I had used back in the day. This kind of caster is perfect for these workbenches. They allow you to lock it in place, avoiding the usual movement that other wheels have even after you lock them, and you can also level the bench to adapt it to the floor of your workshop or an adjoining workbench. The only problem is they're a little awkward to use. It's difficult to access the plastic lever that comes with them in order to adjust them. A couple of years ago I made a wooden wrench with a laser to make this step easier, and it's really helped me on more than one occasion. But there's a problem. When the bench is pushed up against a wall, it's impossible to reach the back wheels. This way I can't level it with the floor, or flush it with the bench next to it. Since these leveling casters are activated with a plastic lever attached to a bolt, I've come up with a way to do it from the top of the bench, using a threaded rod that goes through the bench's leg down to the wheel. I'll need to turn the threaded rod to activate the caster. Even though a soldering technician would be ideal for this job, I'll try to do it without soldering any parts. This is the 3D model included in the plans available on my website. The design by addition of these workbenches will be perfect for this improvement. It will allow me to make the required channel in the legs more easily. I'll leave a link to the plans in the description of this video. If this improvement works, I think I could also apply it to my other workbenches, like the multifunction workbench and the mobile workbench. These are the caster wheels I'm going to use on this occasion. These are a cheaper version of the model I've been using so far. I'm going to disassemble them so we can take a better look at how they work. By turning the plastic lever, the foot pad goes up or down depending on which direction you turn it. I have to loosen a screw to be able to remove the plastic lever. The threaded rod I'm going to use does not fit the hole that comes with the leg, so I'm going to widen it. I'll use masking tape to prevent the metal shavings from damaging the bearing. To drill this hole safely, I'm going to screw the leg onto a piece of wood. I'll use this piece of pine wood as a leg. I'm going to cut a channel in it so I can insert the rod. To do this, I've installed my dado blade and the table saw. Now I have to machine the rod to give one of its ends a hexagonal head. I'm going to use a hex nut as a reference and masking tape to prevent the nut from turning. I'll try to do this step with my belt sander. I've used another piece of masking tape to mark the depth of the sanding, which will be around 10 millimeters. I'll use the thread of the rod as a reference to avoid oversanding it, and also to try to sand it down straight and parallel to the rod. Looking at the grooves of the thread will help me remove the same amount of material from all 6 sides. This is the result. Doesn't look bad at all. It's best to do it little by little and run some tests to avoid oversanding it. It seems in this case I'll have to sand it down a little more. Now the hex socket wrench fits in tightly. For now it looks like this is going well. It's time to screw the wheel to the wood. As a stop, I'll use 2 nuts and a washer. I'm not sure if it could also work with a locking nut. I'll try to leave the same thread length that the plastic lever had. I'm going to install a straight bracket to secure the threaded rod in the top of the leg. When turning and lifting the footpad, it falls on its own and will drag along the floor. I need to secure the rod in the top of the leg somehow, so I thought about using a retaining ring. To do this, I have to cut a small channel to insert it. The washer will help me turn the rod and prevent dust from going into the channel for the rod. I'm going to run some tests with this heavy workbench. With a clamp, I'll secure the leg I just made to one of the bench's legs to see if all this work has been worth it. And it looks like it's working correctly. It's not necessary to apply too much force to be able to lift the bench by around 4 millimeters. I can't lift it anymore because I've used 2 nuts. This could have been avoided by using thinner nuts or soldering a single nut to the rod. To be honest, I'm quite happy with the result. I think that by adding a little grease to some parts, this system will be perfect for installing in my new modular workbench. I'll show you the result in a few days in a new video. See you soon.